Ayodhya was a city where the granaries were full and the laws were just. King Dasarath ruled over a period of stability, yet he remained without an heir to his throne. Following a sacred fire sacrifice, this period of waiting ended with the birth of his eldest son, Sri Ram. As he grew, Ram mastered the complex arts of governance and combat. Those who observed him noted a rare temperament. He was naturally quiet in his confidence, physically capable in the face of danger, and prioritized the law over his own comfort. These qualities were tested at the court of King Janak. To win the hand of the Princess Sita, a suitor had to do more than just show strength. They had to string the heavy celestial bow of Lord Shiva, a task that had defeated every king who attempted it. Ram approached the weapon and applied such focused pressure that the ancient frame shattered in two, securing his marriage to Mata Sita. At this stage, Ram's life appeared to be a steady climb toward the throne. He had the support of the people and a clear path to leadership, which made this sudden reversal of his fortune a true test of his core nature. On the eve of his coronation, Queen Kaikeyi, driven by the persuasion of her aide Manthara, invoked two ancient promises from the king. She demanded the crown for her own son, Bharat, and insisted that Ram be sent into the wilderness for 14 years. While the court reacted with shock, Ram's response was immediate. He did not argue for his birthright or question the fairness of the demand. He viewed his father's word as a binding obligation that outweighed his own ambition. Sita and his brother Lakshman refused to let him face the wilderness alone. They exchanged their royal silks for simple robes and walked away from the palace gates, trading the security of the city for the uncertainty of the woods. This act defined the concept of tyag, or sacrifice. It demonstrated that a person's integrity is best measured not by the power they hold, but by what they are willing to give up to maintain their principles. Life in exile meant navigating dense thickets and finding food in the wild. During their stay in the forest, their routine was interrupted by the appearance of a golden deer, an animal so unusual that Sita asked Ram to capture it. The deer was a deception created by the demon Marich. It was a calculated move to draw Ram and Lakshman away from their camp, leaving their home unguarded. While the brothers were in pursuit, the demon king Ravan arrived at their dwelling, disguised as a wandering monk. He exploited the customs of hospitality to abduct Mata Sita, carrying her away to his island fortress in Lanka. Ram was now left with nothing. His kingdom was gone, and now his family was fractured. Even at this low point, he chose to act through deliberate, righteous steps rather than falling into paralyzed despair. The search for Sita led Ram to a meeting with Hanuman. This encounter brought a new element to the struggle, a form of service that was entirely selfless and focused on the protection of Dharma. To find Sita's location, Hanuman crossed the ocean in a single leap, infiltrating the highly guarded city of Lanka to deliver a message of hope. When Ravan captured Hanuman, he attempted to humiliate him by setting the messenger's tail on fire in the middle of his court. Hanuman used that very flame to set the city itself ablaze, proving that the tools used by an oppressor can often be turned against them. This shift in the narrative shows that when a leader remains committed to what is right, they naturally draw the support and loyalty of others who share that conviction. To reach the island, Ram's army of followers began an incredible task. They gathered stones, inscribed them with his name, and watched as they defied the current to float and form a bridge across the sea. The ensuing war in Lanka was a clash of massive proportions. The ground shook under the weight of the armies, and the air was filled with the sound of the confrontation. Ravan relied on his massive ego and his history of conquest, convinced that he was beyond defeat. Ram, in contrast, fought with a quiet certainty that a system built on the exploitation of others cannot sustain itself. The conflict ended when Ram released the Brahmastra. The final strike bypassed Ravan's defenses and brought an end to his reign. The victory proved that internal discipline and a focus on duty provide a strength that brute force, when untethered from morality, can never match. When the 14 years were complete, Ram returned to Ayodhya. The citizens celebrated by lighting millions of oil lamps, turning the city into a sea of light to mark the restoration of order.
His leadership created a period known as Ram Raja.
It wasn't just a time of wealth, but a society where the weak were protected and justice was accessible to every citizen. Ram's experience of losing his status and being forced into the wilderness mirrors the modern challenge of facing a sudden setback. He showed that while we cannot always control our circumstances, we have total control over whether we maintain our character during the fall. His journey is built on 3 traits: Satya, the commitment to truth; Tyag, the sacrifice of personal comfort; and Dharma, the dedication to duty. When these 3 interact, they form a steady internal core, allowing a person to navigate any crisis without breaking. This story is more than a historical account. It is a demonstration of how to live with purpose. The legacy of Sri Ram continues to serve as a guide for humanity, echoed in the